Hey, you right, guys, Trophy Munchers Joe here, and today we are watching and reacting to episode 4 of Reign Season 2. Really enjoyed the last episode. I think it was the best of Season 2 so far. Hopefully they can keep that up throughout the next few episodes. Obviously it's going to have a few dip downs throughout the season, like any show would. But yeah, I was very impressed with it, and I'm just curious where the plot's going to go from here, because it seems like they're definitely building on what... Someone pointed this out on the Patreon comment, I think. But season 1 was a lot of like Francis and Mary just trying to get together, where like we're finally in season 2 and it's them two ruling, which is probably like it definitely seems like it definitely seemed like a definitive change of pace from like how season 1 was. And yeah, like I say, I'm just curious where the plot's going to go from here. So if you enjoy, remember to leave a like. If you're new, remember to subscribe, and if you do want the full uncut reaction as well as early uploads to all of Reign, then a link to the Patreon page will be down below, as well as links to Twitter, Instagram and Discord if you want to check any of those three out. And yeah, episode 4, guys, let's go.
You come to resent me and my son. I would never resent a child. Lola, the time for anger is past.
But you never really got angry with me, did you? I don't know how you managed it.
Yeah, because it's Adelaide
No,
Kane.
It's just my worry for anything weighing on you when you and Francis are still so new to the throne.
Short as it is, what of your duties to me, as one of my ladies?
Not being
Suppose
funny,
you want to
but
release me.
they don't serve you anyway, Mary.
Excuse me.
Like, let's be honest, them all being ladies is
So you're
awful.
not just here for the christening, Louis. I'm glad you have returned. I'm sorry for the loss of your lands. Could not be avoided.
Yeah, about that.
As much as they went to Lord Narcisse.
For at the moment, I'd like to give you a position at court. You could help my brother. He needs good men that he can trust.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
I can't believe he actually had wealth and a castle for a day.
This is Lady Kenneth.
Did you say my bride?
Yes, we've come to ask the king for his blessing. And
Oh, she does not want to be in
Don't sell
this
advance to that
situation.
man. It wasn't proper as cells staying beneath my roof.
Bloody terrified of
I
him.
honor.
A handkerchief I fancied up a bit.
Come.
Got a note on it, help me, please.
It's Narcisse.
Help me. Oh, Ashley is!
Children. Do you remember?
Of course.
So many places to run and hide. I learned how to climb in that tree over there.
She looks
And you learned how to
amazing.
pitch
Like,
battles
she
at the head of
actually
the sea wall.
looks
Wide
amazing.
open, with a gentle
I
slope.
want to die.
I am. It's been some weeks now, but I wanted to be sure, and I am sure.
Wait, what?
I am a child. Our child, at last.
Is that true? Is that real? I don't. Something seems too easy. Seems too easy.
Still very early.
Good morning. How's the happy trinity?
Don't come in!
Father, mother.
My penis is out!
Oh, I'm hoping for a son. Plenty of time for daughters later.
How could you possibly know?
I'm familiar with the condition. And I've had
I
my
love
eye on
Cat.
you.
Yo,
You're
Catherine,
always
to be fair,
ready
is like one of the
to
best characters.
I was being discreet. I was waiting to let you be the one to tell Francis.
Francis.
Mother, I thought that we might keep it a secret.
Catherine's
Makes sense.
jokes.
This child strengthens Mary's Elizabeth, remains barren and unmarried. You are a better option. Enter.
Enter, baby.
Skin tonics.
Mary, remember that time I tried to kill you 3 times?
I can't believe it.
Oh, that's jokes.
When did you find out?
This is wonderful, I
wanted to be sure.
guess.
I only told Francis
Awkward.
today. Let's get you some more.
Some whore? What is that what you said? Let's get you some whores.
Wouldn't give it them. But what if others did? What happens to a man without a soul? What's he capable of?
Okay. Bash always has the weirdest stories.
I received your message. Estelle, I'm not sure I can help.
Apart from him and Mary, like that was the peak.
First wife, so soon after she miscarried that she bled to death.
Oh my God.
She
Jesus!
was found unconscious repeatedly in pools of her own blood. You're my only hope, the most powerful woman I know.
Please everyone,
The king's
baby.
mistress.
You're my only hope.
You gave him a son. If anyone can help me, you can. Please. save me from Lord Narcisse.
Come on, Lodi, you can't say no when you hear that.
But you didn't, because we, your friends, did everything we could to save you. You prove your arguments with events that never took place. And now, I fear your happiness has come to undermine your compassion.
My compassion is for you. As it is yours that rules you in this moment. Your cage is invisible, but you feel it just the same. And has it ever occurred to you that your cage is of your own making? That the bars formed the minute you decided to sleep with the man that I love, knowing that I loved him still? There it is. The anger I knew you bore me. How long have you been waiting for it to come out? For me to lash out at you so I would feel as guilty as you should. But I don't.
You were both in the wrong. Can we just admit that?
We all make choices. We don't all have
Mary?
choices. I don't, not anymore.
You left him.
Estelle doesn't. You do, and you always will, because you are a queen.
I know it's like sisters before misters or whatever they call it, but come on.
I am more than your friend. I
I'm
am
your
queen.
There you go. Throwing the line out again.
Is there something I left out, Your Majesty?
Yo, I love
You
this.
were right to keep you out of my sight.
Right. Here's what I'll say to this. Lola shouldn't have slept with Francis, fair play, but at the same time, it's not that big a deal, Mary. You left him and went with Bash.
I've made arrangements to have
So,
you taken far from court.
At the same time, Lola's not in the wrong for sleeping with
It
Francis.
feels like to be trapped.
It's an awkward situation,
Tonight,
but it's
once
a
everyone's
situation of
got
both their own
can you get away
makings.
and meet me?
Your concern is for his new bride, Estelle. I've heard many terrible things about Narcisse, but I don't know these tales of him brutalizing his wives.
Well, how many wives has the man had?
25.
I believe Estelle is his fourth.
Fourth. It's low
Would it be
numbers.
he burned through the first three?
Low numbers, weak.
What's in your condition? Louis, save us from this dirge. And why don't you take poor Greer with you? I feel more kindly towards her. As we
Oh,
get
Greer and
closer,
Louis, that could be
that's
sassy.
spectacular.
No. They didn't even talk. I'm going to be really rich and you're going to be miserable.
A significant debt. One that could perhaps be eased by our arranging an advantageous marriage for you.
An interesting proposal.
So you give
I'm already
someone else
Francis and I
turn
both
for
want
it to
to
be
be
abuse,
beyond
whatever.
our marriage.
Oh my god.
Estelle, I tried to get away. But when
Oh,
Narcissus
you
guards
killed
caught me,
one.
I grabbed his dagger. I think I killed him. And they're looking for me. I'll never get away now.
No, probably not. She killed a god.
It's his right to have her hang for it. You've done your duty by warning me. If we're discovered, so be it. But I will not abandon her.
Fair play, Lola. You know what? I respect that.
Then neither will I. Come with me.
Okay, well, she's convinced. Imagine if Mary was super savage though and just gave her up.
I promise he will have you put in the stocks and whipped until you are dead. So I'll repeat.
Francis
Is
would
there a
never.
problem, soldier?
Probably not, no.
No, Your Majesty. Forgive us.
But if that wasn't, oh, we've got the woman in the carriage, like,
Driver?
basically, then I don't know what was.
Our children can grow up to be as close as we are.
Aww.
Nothing would make me happier.
Well, there is
Oh,
something.
Adley Kane smile.
There's been no decision on a choice for Godmother.
I'm hoping it would be you.
I know it puts you in an awkward
Yeah,
position.
yeah, a bit.
but there's no one I trust more with my child than you.
Smile, Adelaide.
I would be honored.
Oh, I want to see Adelaide smile. I love it. Melts my heart.
No, tell no one.
Oh, yo, she's full
You're
on like bleeding, dude.
I'm losing my child.
Already?
There's nothing we can do about it now. No, no one must know until after the christening. I have to tell Francis myself and ruin
Jesus.
things for Lola and the baby.
Now is not the time to think of others.
If you consider yourself a friend, you will not say a word to anyone.
Oh, come on. She's lost the baby already. Is that like...
Lady Greer is here to see you.
Greer? I wasn't expecting
I was reading my book.
I couldn't wait any longer. I rode here all night because I want to marry you.
I know you
Sick.
don't really love me.
I do.
To go back. Go.
Jesus. She looks alright, says she fell and bashed her head on a rock.
Tried to take her life before. So I kept her
Okay.
under close guard, thinking that I could protect her.
See, he could be changed shit.
And
But-
rumours of your other wives.
Can't stop them. I was young when I first married.
Love.
That is a rare jewel I've yet to see.
See, I actually want to believe him. We'll see.
Being cross with my wife. Her voice, shrill. The children crying, they wouldn't sleep. I was...
Don't know about this story yet.
I haven't been right since the night.
I wouldn't say it's bad yet, because it's not, but
The next thing I knew,
depends how long it
I
drags
had
out for.
shears in my hand. I did this.
If it's like the darkness again.
For you. You wanted us to be a family. These last weeks, I couldn't help wondering. Do you have your curls? Or have your eyes? Or will you be a blend of us both?
Oh my god, dude. Come on. I'll give that one Francis as well.
And kind. You helped my sister, stood up to my father. You value me, not as a prize, but as a
He's
partner.
actually grown on me. I'm glad they didn't just have him
If you let me go,
die.
you will regret it.
Be in it and
Because
then,
I know I can make you happy too.
you know, Leif swoops in after one episode and takes it back.
Something more than compassion and sorrow.
You want passion.
As more time goes on,
I admit it, I wanted
the more I
to.
kind of go off
can't,
Leif. I
won't
don't
live
know.
Without it. Lance.
I'm not saying I ship it with them either. Either. But ever since Leif went on this little rant about, oh, I'm gonna rise and rise and rise, I was like, okay, shut up, mate.
Help us.
Who are you?
Doomed before. Help us now.
The sage. It was mid-June. You were 8. We stood outside like this, but on the south lawn. We'd escaped the castle at night.
I always forget they knew each other as kids as well.
See the fireflies.
With 10 million fireflies.
We always worried they wouldn't come.
I love her so
The
much.
thrill for me was in the waiting.
Such a good actress. Oh, so good. That's,
You did this for
that's
me.
adorable. That's adorable.
Fireflies.
That's amazing. I'm dead. Francis. Francis.
Dark and dark, Mary. And uncertain. And cruel. The only thing that really matters is that we face it together. Whatever the future brings. You are my land.
Dude. Okay, I've actually run out of space for positives of the episode. Like, legit run out of space. I can't even add that because I've run out of space. That was fantastic. Yo, that is one of my favourite Rain episodes ever. Let me see what that got on track. That was incredible. It might actually be my... No, I don't think it's my favourite, but that is in my top 3. I'll say that's in my top 3. Yeah. there's only, I'd say 1.5 negative, because one of them's not really a negative, it's just a kind of worry of mine. We'll get those out of the way. The first real negative I thought was losing the baby in the third, not the fact that she lost the baby, but losing the baby in the same episode we found out that she was pregnant. I think it would have been cool if they held off another episode or even 2 and then maybe she lost the baby. I think that would have made it more impactful. It was still impactful, like losing a baby is, you know, probably not the nicest thing in the world, but like I think it would have been if she kind of, if we got more attached to the idea of her being pregnant and then she lost the baby, that would have been more like distressing, I guess. I'm just going to blow my nose. So yeah, I think maybe it's a bit too soon. I don't know, maybe it wasn't. I'm just kind of in my head, I'm like, if we got more attached to the idea of her being pregnant, maybe it would have been more impactful than it was, and it was still pretty impactful. So even that's not really a negative, it's just a what if maybe it lasted a bit longer. Then the one that I was kind of like half unsure of is Bash's story. It seems like just a repeat of the Darkness to me, like, and now there's riders out there that wear hoods that are causing havoc. It's just like basically what the Darkness had done. So I'm not saying it's bad in this episode, I'm saying I'm worried that that story is going to be another weak part of the show. And it's just unfortunate that Bash has that story again. I know he's a mercenary and he goes out and deals with this stuff, but surely they could be a bit more interesting than this. So yeah, not the best thing for Bash. Other than that, I think everything about this episode was fantastic. So yeah, the idea of Mary actually being pregnant and everyone being happy. Catherine really showing like a lighter side to her character this episode, I thought was adorable. So yeah, and then there's another positive of mine later, not that she lost the baby, but that kind of transition from being, because then I look at it like this, I'm like, maybe it did work for it to all happen in the same episode. The idea of them, how happy they were, and then towards the end of the episode, it was like how devastated and sad they all were. I like that about it. As bad as I felt for Mary and even Francis, like obviously, like Francis was the best he's ever been in this episode. And Adelaide Kane's acting in that scene where she told Francis, and then the end scene there, just incredible. Adelaide Kane's acting peaked here, I think, for sure. Like, she's been consistently great throughout the whole show, but this episode, and especially that scene, she was amazing. So, yeah. Then I put Greer's story. This episode I actually really liked. I think I'm kind of worried that it's just going to be a constant repeat of like, oh, will she get with Leith? Will she not? Will she? Like, I've done that so many times with like Ezra and Arya and just other relationships. But I'm glad with this, it felt different to how it did in the previous episodes. She had a talking to by Lola and Kenna about the situation, and then she almost had a moment with Leith, but then went back to, I don't know if he used his name, but the other guy, and said that she wants to be with him. I don't think that'll last, but the guy, I said this since day one of those two, the guy that she's marrying, I don't even not like him. I think he's actually an okay guy. And like I say, the more time goes on, the more I actually don't like Leith as much. He seems to be very selfish. I know he does love Greer, like he does. But even Greer pointed out, like, in her head, his story and path once he gets with Greer is to rise and rise and rise, as he said, but can she be bothered with that is basically the question. So I think Greer was very good this episode. Lola as well. I'm not the biggest fan of Lola, as you guys know, but her story this episode was really good. I wasn't too keen on her trying to get this the wife out of the castle when it did end up in her dying anyway, so it felt a little bit pointless. But it gave a good kind of idea is not the right word, but a good story regarding Lola versus Mary. Like, it didn't drag out too long, which I liked, but this episode is kind of them to actually, well, more so Mary actually going off at Lola about her sleeping with Francis. So yeah, we've been kind of waiting on that. I feel like it has been building up, and even Lola was like, I'm waiting for you to get angry, because Mary never really did. She got salty a little bit and like distant, but she never really got angry about it. And I'm glad that they made up as well in the same episode, so they didn't drag that out too long. But I did like the kind of 1v1 on that. And in the same kind of part of that story. We had I don't know his name, but I'll call him the villain guy, the guy that we heard all these rumours and stories about how he treats all his wives. He denied it there when he was speaking to Lola, and I want to believe him. I don't know, because he still seems like a bad guy. But if that is true, I think they did a good job of giving more to him as a character this episode instead of just being like, oh, the bad guy. So yeah, when he's opening up about how he's never been in love, and he watched one of his wives kind of die and pass away, and how I forgot if it was his dad or someone was always trying to force a consummation, don't know the word, but yeah, it kind of gave a bit more to him. So we'll see. I don't like him, but it gave more to him, which I liked. Then I put Adelaide Kane's acting, which I spoke about. I think it was the best it's been. And then I put the final scene with Francis. Fair play, mate. I mean, he's grown on me. No, he hasn't grown on me. He's growing on me. He's been really good this season. There's no denying it. He's been really good this season. I think I'm slowly starting to get to the realization that her and Bash just aren't going to happen. I think it's been too far gone at this point. It feels too out of place if they got back together now. So if it was going to happen, it would have been in season 1, I think. So maybe I'd kind of have to accept that these two are the relationship going forward. And I don't hate that. I think I did in season 1. All of season 1, Francis was just a dick. Like, there's no denying Francis was a dick. I'm sorry, he was. But this season so far, only the 4 episodes, and there's still a while to go. That didn't come out right. There's still a while to go for him to mess up, but these 4 episodes, and especially this episode, Francis was the best he's ever been. So credit where credit is due. Yeah, this was non-stop. I absolutely love this episode. I'm going to give it a... One sec. Let me just check. I wanted to see if it's in my highest rating for a Rain episode. I know I want to give it in my head, but I want to see if there's an episode that... Because this might technically be my favourite episode. I think there's been better moments, like singular moments throughout season 1. But as an episode as a whole, yeah, it's my highest rating. I'm gonna give this one a 9.5 out of 10. Close to perfect, I'd say. Very close to perfect. And I know probably a lot of people don't agree with that one because not many people hyped up this episode, but I think it was amazing. All the stories were interesting. I think the weakest was Bash, and that's why I probably didn't get the 10 out of 10. I think Bash was a little bit weaker. But luckily that was only really 2 scenes, and it wasn't like bad. It wasn't like really bad. It was just the weakest part. Yeah, I'm gonna go 9.5 out of 10. My highest rating for a Rain episode. Like I said, there were better moments throughout the previous episodes of Rain, but then there'd always be like a weaker story in those episodes. Whereas this, I think the whole thing as a whole episode was just fantastic. So yeah, there we go, guys. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of the episode down below in the comments. Everything that I mentioned at the start will be in the pinned comment below as well, and I'll see you next time for episode 5. Very impressed with season 2 so far. So yeah, thanks for watching. Until next time, peace.